Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Hello, it's the Daily Dish time. Who's here? It's Thursday. It's Thursday. I want to say hello. And there's my girls. I've got Helen in the house, Jeanette, Patsy, and Jocelyn. Hello, Hot Milk 30. Woo, pinkies up. Who's doing it? I know Patsy is, man. She's in full forward. Gosh, I loved your little cross stitch. It was so darling, Patsy, that she did on self-care. If you haven't seen it, go to our Hot Milk Sprint group on Facebook and check it out, because she's that multi-talented thing. Hello, Alice. Good to have you here. And Jackie and Lizzie, also good to have you here in the house. Anyway, so we are excited that you who are doing Hot Milk 30 have just put yourself right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit about limiting beliefs, because I believe this is the number one thing that holds people back from the life that they want to live. Period. I do. Because we believe sometimes the incorrectness of some beliefs that we've had, that we've schlepped from place to place to place. Hey there, Deborah. It happens, and sometimes unawares. Am I right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure that you all understand that there's two things that you can do that it's not too late for, by the way. Hey, Linda. Two things. One is you can get on the Hot Milk 30. And I'm going to just say that's the Hot Milk 30 Express, because at this point, we're 7 days in. You can start. Yes, you can. You can start right now, today, and go get your Hot Milk 30 guide and get on board. That's savingdinner.com/30THIRTY. And guess what? That doesn't mean, because you're not starting at the beginning, doesn't mean that you're not going to get results. Period. We want excellence, not perfection. Remember, that's our motto. That's how we roll around here. Right, Catherine? She knows. You know too, don't you? Of course you do. Of course you do. You're too smart to not know that. That's number one. Number two is it's not too late to get in on our class. Our class starts tonight. It's called Crush Limiting Beliefs. I believe with my whole heart that this is something we all need to take a look at, because we are all susceptible to limiting beliefs. All. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today, because, man, wait till you hear some of the stuff that I have to say about that. It's kind of a mind blower. By the way, this will all be out in tomorrow's show notes. So don't forget. Do not forget. All right. So the Crush Limiting Beliefs course, it starts tonight. This is the workbook for it. Isn't it beautiful? And in it, you get there's tons of information. You get a little welcome right there from me. Isn't that fun? And then throughout this book, it all builds on one another. Talking about limiting beliefs. What if you don't know what your limiting beliefs are? How do we go through them? How do we bounce back? How do we embrace failure? That's not what some of this stuff is. How do we slay our goals, and how do we make planning work for us instead of against us? This is golden. Anyway, I just wanted to show you. Isn't it so cool? This is the workbook. Everybody in our Limiting Beliefs class has this. You can get yours too. Go to savingdinner.com/no limits. No limits. That's how I want you to have your life, man. When you have no limits, there's vibrancy, boop, 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 popping up just like flowers. There's our Lynn in Pennsylvania instead of Washington. My goodness. All right. So today's, and let's just say this, the quote of the week is just, I hope you've written this one down. I really do. If you've written it down, I hope you put it in your journal. It is gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for our future. It does. I have the privilege of living on a little lake. It's a small lake, but it's a lake nonetheless. I love it. I walk my dog every day around this lake. And every single day, I have gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I look at the peaceful water. I look at the trees all around me. I look at all of nature. I've named a turtle down in Turtle Cove. His name, Big Turtle, and he's old. I have a picture of him on my personal Facebook, and we named him Ulysses. Caroline named him that, just because he has this ancient wisdom, turtly wisdom about him. You know, you got to appreciate a good turtle, right? But gratitude just makes everything sweet and tasty and delicious and savory and yummy. That's your life when you're full with gratitude. And we have new optimistic gratitude journals coming in today. So if you want something like this, and especially we have people ordering 4, 5, 6 at a time because they're giving them to friends and family as a gift. What a great idea. Anyway, you can find them at savingdinner.com/grateful. Go check it out. They're built to have a weekly vision and a monthly vision as you work through the book, and it builds on one another. It's scientifically proven that this is the way in which we create this kind of stuff inside of us, because it's then ever present. It's then a part of what it is that we do. And it's a really incredible thing. We have little bookmarks that go in it. It's a beautiful little book. Our Amber, of course, just did the whole layout and design. It's just gorgeous. Diane is in the house. Hot Milk 30. Boop. There's Carol as well. Good to have you here. So we have all of that. So if you're interested, tonight we start in Crush Limiting Beliefs. You can get in on it. We still have a few seats left. savingdinner.com/no limits. You will get a link. You'll get everything that you need sent to you today. We'll give you even the first lesson today so that you will not miss a beat. So this is a last minute call. And I know there's somebody out there right now who really wants this course. savingdinner.com/no limits. Just go look at the page. And if the page does something in your heart, you know that's your call. So answer it, right? It's an investment in yourself. It's not an expense. It's an investment. Keep that in mind. Now, who is all about the buttery balm? That would be me. My skin is just incredible because of our buttery balm. This stuff is thick, emollient, and it just drives right into your skin. You've got 3 different types of castor oil in there, plus a little cinnamon, lavender, vitamin E, and coconut. Crazy stuff. This is like nothing you've seen on the market today. And you only need a little tiny bit. So if you buy one, you're going to get one absolutely free. Go to savingdinner.com/BOGO and go claim it. Boop. This is crazy. All right. That's what you need to know. That's what you need to know. I think it's time to get on to the show and talk a little bit about this because, as I was thinking about this and as I was, looking at our finished product going through, I just love the way everything has turned out in this. I mean, so proud of this. Again, Amber, thank you, Amber. But as I was going through this, getting ready for tonight's lesson, because I'm going to be teaching tonight's lesson, I thought, why isn't everybody signed up for this? Because I'm looking in there and I'm going, oh my gosh, that's me. This is me. I got to fix this. I got to look at this. I didn't see this before. Why isn't everybody doing this course? And then it occurred to me, well, sometimes that's just the way things are. And so today I wanted to talk about this idea of limiting beliefs because I really believe that it does check the box for all of us. Hey, Butterfly, I'm glad you're here. So we cling to our beliefs, don't we? Cling is a good word. Like, You know, those peaches that have stones in them, the cling peaches or whatever they are, and that stone just doesn't want to come away from the flesh. That's how we are with our beliefs. And we perceive them and perceive our world through the prism of those beliefs. This is my friend Sean Croxton. This is what he says. If you believe the world is a dangerous place, you'll always feel unsafe. Danger will lurk around every corner. If you believe people aren't nice, you'll twist their words and deeds until they fit the template of your pessimistic thinking. I will also say that you'll misconstrue tone, you'll misconstrue and put on whatever they're saying and put your own meaning onto things. That's what happens when you have this kind of a thing. If you believe good things never happen to you, you will never see the opportunity, even if it smacked you in the face. And while we can't have sunshine and roses all the time, which is the truth, we have to understand too, it takes rain to make the flowers bloom, doesn't it? It does. So there's good and bad in the world. There's light, there's darkness, of course. But the shininess and the beauty of optimism and gratitude and all of that comes out of and away from limiting beliefs. Because if limiting beliefs are really the gate that's holding you back from living the vibrant life that you want, we have to understand that this is something that we do to ourselves, these limiting beliefs. They keep us fixated upon the darkness and we don't see the light. We don't see the light, even though it's at the end of the tunnel, or even though it's sneaking in around the peripheral. We don't do it. So why is that? Well, I think it's because we make a decision about it. We choose this limited belief instead because that's comfortable. It's what we've known. It's what we're going to stay with. It's like, have you ever noticed like people who they know something's really bad or awful. They're in an abusive relationship. They stay. They stay because that's the known. Or a bad habit, they smoke, or they have a food issue of out of control binge eating. They keep at it, even though the detriment is really obvious and is taking down their health. But it's the limiting beliefs that they can't quit, they can't stop, they can't fill in the blank that keeps us in that place. And guess what? Staying in that place hinders the life that you want. It keeps you, it's a barrier to the vibrancy that you seek and I seek. So there's a danger though in limiting beliefs. And you want to hear something? I went into Google and you can find out what is the most searched term for limiting beliefs. And you know what the most searched term for limiting beliefs is? What is the danger in keeping in limiting beliefs? What does that tell you? Because that's a lot of people saying right now and right then, I don't want to give them up. I understand and I see that, but that comfort zone is too much of a suck, is too much of that's where I'm going to stay, which is interesting. So let's take a look at the 5 dangers, because there are 5 dangers associated with limiting beliefs. And I just want you to just think about these for a while, especially if, you're thinking, yeah, I was thinking about doing that course. I'm just not sure. It's the truth that will set you free, isn't it? Isn't that what we're told? Well, limiting beliefs usually are big fat untruths disguised as a belief system. So let's talk about what some of these are. Number one thing is that if you hold on to limiting beliefs and do not let go of them and replace them with a more substantial belief, something that's going to carry you through this life, you'll find yourself inhibited in your personal growth, period. You have to be, because limiting beliefs make us underestimate our potential. And of course, what's that going to do? That's going to hinder any kind of growth, any kind of personal or professional development even. I will tell you, a lot of you have a limited belief about technology. Oh, I can't do that. It's too hard. Somebody else do it for me. I just don't know how. Well, the truth is you don't know how, but the truth is you can learn how. And I'm not asking you to learn code. I'm asking you to learn how to save an email or download a document or copy and paste or do something that is really pertinent to 2023 and will help you from stopping to be stuck in the old lady zone and move forward into a place of being proficient enough to get around with a little bit of technology. Did that hurt? Hurt me. There's several things that I cannot do. There's several things that I know that I could teach myself how to do. But I look at things like, for example, when I have a slide deck or something that I'm going to do a presentation for, I'll give it to Amber or Jenny, and they'll put in the images, they'll put in the stuff. You know why? They're proficient at it. But if I was all by myself, I would figure it out. I'd go get a YouTube tutorial and figure it out. I have the luxury of having somebody else on my team, my dream team, to be able to say, hey, back me up here. But they're not telling me how to open an email, send them an image, or anything else like that, because I figured that stuff out. Or if I didn't know, I asked. And this is the thing that helps us to become the women that we're meant to be. In this day and age, we just have to use this. We have to understand. We have to know a little bit of technology. Have to. You got to learn new skills. You got to try new experiences, and you got to take on challenges, even when you feel like you can't do it. You think, instead of saying, I just can't, it's too hard, it's overwhelming, it's this, it's that. Instead of making all those declarations on something you haven't even tried, the thing you could say is like, I'm going to give it a stab. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Why not? I'll try. Of course you will. That's how we destroy these limiting beliefs, by the way. Number 2, it creates unnecessary stress and anxiety. Like, let's go back with the tech thing. I know this is just needling every one of you. It's needling me too. So Arlene says she's trying to keep out of the old lady zone. Good. We all want to do that, right? Can I tell you, when my mother, so funny, my mother passed in 2016, but she worked. She was an employee with Saving Dinner. And she used to do our menus way back in the day. She used to do all the shopping lists. And one of the things that she had a hard time with was copy and paste. So I showed her, I don't know, a million times. My sister showed her. We all showed her how to copy and paste. My daughter went over and showed her how to copy and paste. She had a thing on her wall, how to copy and paste. And by gum, she finally got it. She finally got it. And we laughed about that. She was literally on her deathbed, and we laughed about that. But it just shows you that with enough gumption, with enough grit and not quit, yeah, you can learn new things. But we want to stay away from the danger zone of not just the old lady zone, but the danger zone of limiting beliefs, because the stress can just, having this stress of not being able to download something, or losing stuff on your computer, or not being able to figure something out, that kind of stress, it fills you with self-doubt. It fills you with anxiety. It fills you with stress, and it mentally plays on you. You think, I'm just not smart enough. Well, I'm just too old is a lot of what I hear. It's just simply not true. It's just you haven't learned it yet. You haven't learned it yet. But it's a limiting belief. I'm too old to learn that. Number 3 is that the danger in limiting beliefs is it can negatively impact your relationships. How about that? It can negatively impact your relationships. If we have a limiting belief about our own self-worth, that we're not enough or we're not worthy, that's a limiting belief right there, by the way. That's going to set the tone on how we believe others should treat us. Hear me? That it can lead to accepting less than what we deserve in a relationship. We'll shut down and shut up. And it also hinders any kind of meaningful connection, because we don't want to leave ourselves vulnerable. We believe vulnerable is scary, and vulnerable keeps us, we don't want to be hurt again. What kind of limiting beliefs are those if we can't have good, healthy, vibrant relationships? Number 4 is it prevents goal achievement. Oh, this is a biggie, because we see an obstacle and we see a stop sign, don't we? When you see an obstacle and you see a stop sign, what you do, instead of working like, okay, how do I overcome this obstacle? You quit. That's not grit. That's quit, sister. We all have obstacles. We all have something to overcome. But when you believe that the obstacle is, it's a sign that I just shouldn't be doing this. I had somebody actually telling me that one time. I mean, what garbage. This woman was on a quest, if you will. She probably about 15 years ago. And she had a good 100 pounds to lose. And she just finally said to me, well, XYZ happened. I just determined that was a sign from God that this wasn't for me. Dang, girl. Talk about a limiting belief. A limiting belief. It's because of staying in that comfort zone was more important to her than actually stretching, growing, and risking. So that's crazy in my mind, but it helps. So when we have this kind of stuff, we see obstacles as stop signs, but then we lack motivation to keep going. Sometimes we lack motivation to even start in the first place. We reduce our effort and just kind of go through the motions, and we find ourselves self-sabotaging. Easy to do when you don't believe in yourself. A limited belief. Number 5, it can cause actual health issues, for real. Chronic stress and anxiety, hello. It is the foundational principle that is there for everyone to really get your health messed up. It's linked. Limiting beliefs are linked to health issues like heart disease, digestive problems, sleep issues, weight gain, memory, and concentration impairment. Did you know that? So what is connected to all of this is the limiting belief that you're not enough and that you can't do it. It's too hard. There you go. Those are your limiting beliefs, right? There's probably more even connected to that. Number 6 is it impairs decision making, because this is what happens. Our judgment gets clouded by a limiting belief. We buy into this limiting belief, and then our decision making skills, poof, right out the window. How do we make choices? Instead of making the correct choice, we make a choice based on fear. Fear. That's what keeps us locked in to these limiting beliefs. And that, my friend, is a distorted perception of reality, isn't it? Because the truth is, yes, you are worthy. The truth is that you were called into this life for a purpose and on purpose. That's the truth. If you're fearfully and wonderfully made, then being out of alignment with that is going to put you in the place of limiting beliefs. It also lowers your life satisfaction. Well, duh. If you put yourself into a little box, you're not going to see the world through the lens of, wow, what a great, big, beautiful world we live in, but you'll see it as a scary, fearful place. You'll see it as somebody who doesn't want to go far from your couch. You'll see it as someone who is unwilling to do the hard work of what it takes in order to break free from limiting beliefs that have held you back from the life that you want to live. It's the truth. It is the truth. So when we understand that holding on to limiting beliefs is a decision and that we actually have other options, we can open our eyes to opportunity, to growth, to success, both in our personal and career-wise. We can open our eyes to the things that we really, truly want. Because limiting beliefs is like a bit in the mouth of a horse. It reins you back and holds you back. And I'm going to tell you this. This is something that I know. We all have it inside of us. We all have the ability to stop it, to cut those reins, and to say no more. All of us. But sometimes it takes a little exploration. It takes a little bit of fearlessness to say, you know what, I'm just going to tread lightly and go through this and see what we can do. And you know what else it takes? It takes guts. Because if you live in the place of fear and being shrunk down and living small, that's exactly what you're going to get. And remember something, everything that we've talked about today, your reticular activating system is going to buy into your limiting beliefs. And it's going to bring you the evidence to support all of that. because that's how it works. Remember, your reticular activating system is not a moral compass. It's not something that is your true north that says do this. Your reticular activating system has been trained by you to find the things out there in this world that are going to support the things that you're trying to do. So if you're doing things all blurred by limiting beliefs, then that's what you're going to get in return. And it's not pretty. Boy, what a downer of a show, right? I think so. So I have a question to ask you. What are you going to do about that? Are you going to do something about those limiting beliefs? Are you going to allow them to hold you back? Or are you going to say, now's the time to get rid of them? You still have the option of getting into tonight's class, by the way. Go to savingdinner.com/no limits. See if this is for you. And I'll tell you what, I don't want to see anyone living in less than what they want. Your vibrancy is dependent on you losing those limiting beliefs. All right? Okay, that's it for me. Tournament tomorrow, by the way. So I have a tournament tomorrow, and I feel really good about that. Last week in my tournament, I got silver. Excited about that. This week, I want to get the gold. Going for gold, ladies. So keep me in prayer. I have 10 matches tomorrow. That's a lot. In the heat, it's going to be a lot. So peace be with you. I appreciate you all, and I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.